Let's talk about respect. Let's talk about getting the respect at work that you want and feel that you deserve. This shouldn't be as difficult and as troubling often for many leaders as it is. But when you are surrounded by a sea of top performers, highly intelligent individuals who are equally driven and have worked their butts off like you to get where they are, then yes, it does become more and more difficult to, as I call it, to qualify, to differentiate. So that's what I want to talk about today. The three factors that I believe, it's not rocket science, but it is not well enough understood so that people can really put this into play in their work lifestyle so that they can get the benefit of their hard work, who they are, and to see a career of longevity, of successful upward mobility. And after almost 20 years now of coaching at all levels and talent development, I can tell you that this is a struggle for a lot of leaders and incredibly talented, high caliber individuals. And so there is this, why am I working my butt off? And the organization is saying that they value me and I'm getting great performance reviews, but I don't seem to be going where I want to go, and the opportunities aren't opening up, and I don't see the same proof that I am valued to the degree that I know that I should be, and according to the kind of work that I am producing. So let's talk about that. It is, I have found that it really comes down to three factors, three qualifiers to differentiate: smart plus capable plus likable. And the secret really is that you can't have one of them without the other two. You can't be highly likable and not smart and capable. And you can't be capable without the other two. So let's just kind of deconstruct them a little bit, because while they seem, fairly obvious on the surface, there are some aspects of this that people they don't nail it. And partly because they just don't truly understand it to the degree that they can manifest it and amplify it in their own performance and get the benefit of their, blood, sweat, and tears that they often put into this. And it has gotten more and more difficult in a sea of type A individuals, oftentimes really hard hitters and hustlers, to stand out, to get the recognition and the visibility and attention that you really want and need from your organization to have that prospering career. So let's look at these really quickly, because time and time again, I see that one of these or maybe two of these are missed and someone tends to overlean on another. So smart, that does not just mean that you are intelligent. Price of admission, guys, right? Lots of smart people around you. What that means is that you can take your intelligence, your wits, your experience, your craft, intuition, and instincts, and you can translate it into relevant, high-value, real-time results. And you can help other people achieve their goals. Fix their pain points, assuage their fears, whatever it is that the organization wants to achieve. You know how to take your smarts and translate that into what is viewed as performance currency. And a lot of times that comes down to, what are my boss's goals? What are their pain points? What are my peers struggling? What are they working with? When I get questions from, upper management, what do they tend to be asking about? What is on their minds? What is the organization concerned about? That's how you know you can bring your smarts into real-time, high-value results, not just am I performing my job and am I being, so that the dark side of this is you don't want to be the smartest dude in the room, because ultimately nobody's voting for that one. Everybody is silently booing that guy because everyone usually in that room and in that setting is intelligent. And so that is not what it's about. Proving that you know what you know. That's what you were already hired to do. So congratulations, you can do your own job. This is really about making sure that you are taking that, those brain powers, and producing something that is actually creating tangible value. So second, capable. So capable means, isn't that smart? No, it isn't. What this means is that you are capable to do what you are paid to do. And that is a couple different things. So let's deconstruct that briefly, because it's important. And there are some aspects of this that people miss, and they can screw it all up because of it. And one of those things is follow through, keeping your word, being reliable. I would put those all in kind of like one line item there, because that is so important. When people are going to perceive you as capable or not capable, they are going to hearken on to, do they do what they say that they're going to do? Can I rely on them if I, delegate this without too much oversight? Can I rely on the fact that they will keep their promises? The other part of this is capable is resiliency. Does this person ache and groan and complain when they are given new projects or things outside their comfort zone, or their plate gets, full? It's like, my plate is full. So is everyone's. I think the plate was thrown out a while ago. So don't go there. Now, of course, if you have to renegotiate workload or prioritization, absolutely do that in a dialogue format. But the whole days of, I have too much on my plate, I can't handle, we really don't have the permission to have that kind of set threshold, because jobs are just very dynamic, and we need to be, next point, very adaptable and very tolerant. And these are all under that category of capable. And so, and lastly, there is a consistency. So capability is also assessed by, what is the consistency and reliability of the level of performance? Are you responsive sometimes and then you get stressed and busy and then not responsive? Do you keep your word when it's something that really matters to you, but when someone else asks you for something, you can't be relied on to respond to them? All of these things, consistency, reliability, goes under, are you capable? And then lastly, likable. And this is the one that tends to either get over leaned on or highly neglected. And what this means really is, I've deconstructed it as a few different things. It is, are you relatable? Do you come across as human and like one of us, or do you project yourself, posture yourself to be above other people? You expect other people to take accountability, but when you've made a mistake, you don't want to. You find somebody else to blame. Or you consistently have yourself positioned as the answer person, but you don't readily admit when you don't have them, or when you have questions, and you are uncomfortable with being seen as one of the team. You have to kind of sort of distance yourself and kind of create that leader aloofness, as if it will give you more clout. And that is a likable killer. Also, responsive, we've talked about that, but that does go into likability, because people will take offense, and that goes into, how do I feel about your personality? It will actually be assessed as a personality characteristic many times. Are you transparent? Is it hard to tell what your agenda is? Do you come across as calculating, or do you lay it all out there? And the next piece, inclusive of multiple people who may need to know the information that you have, that you ask people for input, that you have arms wide open, sweeping as many individuals and their shared intelligence into your work. And then humble, confident. We've talked about this before. This is a huge likability ingredient. Are you both humble and confident? I call it confident humble, or humble confident together, because they have to go hand in hand. Otherwise, you have automatic arrogance. And then lastly, humorous. Many people discount or completely ignore how important it is to be humorous, whether it's a little self-deprecation or a laugh here and there, or an inside joke, or something that you can do to infuse some levity. This is really a big part of being likable. So let's just kind of look at this and the a contrast to this, which is, if you are smart and capable, but you are stressed out all the time, overwhelmed, serious, busy, you don't have time to smile or care about people, or, people can tell that you are tense, then the likability piece is just done. That's out. And then again, you will not be in the category of qualifiers to differentiate. You will be doing an awesome, hardcore job, but you may actually not get any of the rewards that you really want for that in the long run. So smart plus capable plus likable. You need to do, again, a self-audit. I'm always a huge proponent of check in with yourself, do a self-assessment, not getting stuck in your head per se, but pretending in a way that you're going to be your own coach, that you're going to wash away any bias and take a real gritty look at yourself. And so look at those things. Smart, are you translating your wits into real-time, tangible, pain point oriented performance? Capable, are you following through? Are you keeping your word? Are you showing that you are resilient, tolerant, highly adaptable? That yes, you may need to negotiate certain things if it feels unrealistic or overwhelming, and absolutely you need to be able to have those tough conversations when needed, but that you also will lean into those. Another thing, part of that capable, is that you know how to handle conflict, whether it's to the side of you, above, below, that you're a conflict pro. And I'm going to do another post on that because I think that's so important. And then lastly, the likability. Are you demonstrating the relatability, the humor, the transparency, the inclusiveness, and are you watching out for any of those other characteristics that can come in and crush your likability, which a lot of times boils down to stress. So this is what I would say. Focus on these three things. And again, whether it's not anything you probably haven't heard before, but just because of that, we may know it doesn't mean that we are applying it. So take a look at yourself, think about your career, think about what blocks you've had in your career progression, feedback that you've been given or not. Go after that feedback if you need it, and then look at where does it fall in those three factors. And no doubt in my mind that if you do this consistently, that you will be seen for the valuable asset that you are, and you will gain the respect that you want and deserve at work. Talk to you soon.